welcome back. Bit of a short intro. I'll get into the details in the next clip, but we are playing the I-185 M-82 and it is one of the best 3.7 all-rounders. Now we're up at altitude. There's a VB-10 coming at us. I let out a few quick bursts and I'm going to break off. He's not going to follow and go into the vertical, and I'm going to make a mistake here. Unless you're totally sure there's no enemies around you, you do not want to be following anyone going vertical. Now, I'm almost going to get a shot here. I am going to hit him, but it's not going to do anything, and I start to get sprayed by the P-51 behind me. Now, I'm going to put in some rudder. I'm going to make sure to stay above his nose. He's going to slot in under me, and he's going to go in front. I'm going to try and go behind him, but he's just going to keep going in that vertical, and I do not want to be following that since there is the P-51 behind me. So I'm just going to level out. P-51 shortly gets distracted by my teammate. I'm going to turn around, but then the P-51 re-engages, and I'm going to have to do a quick dodge under his guns. Now I see that the Ki-43 is coming towards me, and I need to take him out. If he gets on my 6, he's going to stay there. So I take a short burst, use the clouds as cover, and take him out. Now I'm going to start looking for the P-51, and I notice that he is right behind me. So once again, I'm going to use the clouds as cover and roll around so he can't see me. Now that I'm exiting, I'm worried that he's going to follow me, but he breaks off for one of my lower teammates. So now I'm free to climb a bit and choose a target. Now I see that the VB-10 from before is still a bit high, so I'm going to go follow him while still checking my surroundings. Now, what is he going to do? He seems to go die for my teammates, and I don't really feel like following him yet. So I'm going to stay up. I see that this P-47 is starting to stall out, so I'm going to go for the opportunity. Take a few short bursts, systematically take out his plane, but I still somehow get the assist. But, you know, that's War Thunder. Now, this VB-10 is going to turn around. I'm going to have to quickly dodge, and I see that these two P-51s are coming in. I quickly change targets, and I just barely take out that P-51. Now, I turn around, and I see that my friendly needs help, so I'm going to go help him. I observe my surroundings real quick, and I see that there is a P-51 behind me, so I'm going to ignore him for now. I'm going to make sure to take out the P-51 from before, and I'm going to be using the terrain as cover. Now, the Spit decides to bait the P-51 up. I'm going to help him out. I take out the P-51, and that is going to be kill number 3. Now, I'm searching for the P-51 that was behind me, but I don't see him, which kind of worries me. But I'm going to focus on the 2 planes ahead of me, but I hear his engine and his shooting, and notice he's under me, and I'm just going to refocus on the F-8F. Now, go on the head-on, take a short burst, get a lucky fire, but I'm going to turn around because the VB-10 is starting to come in. Now, I'm close to the terrain. I don't want to crash, but I need to dodge his guns, and I just barely missed the mountain. Now, I'm going to keep on the vertical. He's going to follow me. I want to make sure to stay above his nose. I'm just going to keep staying in the vertical. I'm going to let him go ahead of me, and I'm going to use some rudder to quickly go down, but he is just going to keep running away from me, and that's going to be game. Now let's talk about the I-185. Good guns, good climb, and relatively fast. Best way to play it is as a boom and zoomer. The cannons are also pretty good. You get quite a bit of ammo, which means you can spray and pray at times, but, you know, sometimes they don't really do damage, but you can work around it. Now there is a P-63 and XP-55 under us. The P-63 decides he's going to stall himself out, but I'm not really too worried. I'm just going to maintain a bit of focus on the XP-55 and start to dive on the P-63. But I notice that the XP-55 is pretty close, so I'm just going to switch targets and decide to take him out. Take a few shots, miss a bit, and I just get a fire, but, you know, that's good enough. I just nearly get taken out by the P-63, and I'm going to go into a shallow climb, which he is not going to be able to follow. I'm going to observe my surroundings, see what's going on. The P-63 is just not going to be hitting any of those, and I'm just going to commit to the energy trap fully. I'm going to go up. He's going to follow. He's just not going to be hitting any of those. I'm going to just put in a bit of flaps, go down, and I'm going to just throttle down to get the best turn possible. Now, I am just barely going to get into this turn, and I'm going to take a few shots, and that is going to be kill number 2. There's no one else up here, so I'm going to be following the 109 to the deck. Now, I don't want that XP-55 shooting me, so I am just going to make sure to fully take him out. And I get a heart attack from nearly crashing into him, and I'm just going to keep following the 109. Now, the 109 is going to go into a vertical, and I'm going to try and get a shot in, but I only get a hit. Now, I'm not going to follow him, but instead I'm going to take a loop and wait for him to go in front of me so I can slot in on his 6. Now, I'm just going to wait until I get slightly closer and start to take some shots, miss a bit, and I somehow, again, only get a hit. Now he's going to go into the vertical. I'm going to go the opposite direction of his nose. He's going to try and follow me, but he just can't get his nose on target. And my friendly J26 comes in and takes him out for me, and that's going to be game. In this next match, there is a furball on the deck that I want to engage, so I'm just going to double check that there's no one at altitude, and I'm going to go ahead and dive out. Now, I want to select the right target, and I see the Corsair going to RTB, and I don't want him doing that since that could be a problem late game. So I'm going to go ahead and take him out. Now, he sees me and tries to turn on to engage, but that's not going to help him at all, and I'm just going to go ahead and take his wing off. Now, I'm going to go down. I'm going to see who's next that I can kill. I see the P-47 coming towards me, going to RTB, and I decide I just might as well take him out. Take a few shots, and I'm going to take him out instantly. Now, I see the P-39 up above, but I'm going to leave him to the Chaika, and I'm going to go ahead and turn back for the P-40 under me. Now, I just barely managed to get a shot in, and I take him apart. And I was going to go up to try and finish him off, but the Chaika decided that he wanted to do that for me, and that's going to be game. Now, in the last match for today, I'm going to be engaging a furball with quite a few enemies, and in cases like these, you really need to be careful about target prioritization. Now, I see the Spitfire pitching up for me, and I'm going to go ahead and try to take some shots, but I somehow miss everything. So I'm just going to go back up, make sure I'm not being followed, and I'm going to climb to try and regain some energy. Now I'm going to turn around and see who I want to go for next. Now I see the Kai 43 under me and decide to go for him, but then another Kai 43 comes and I'm going to dive on him. I'm going to take a few shots and I'm just barely going to miss him. So I'm just going to continue my climb, take a few shots on this Kai 43 passing me, only get a hit, and I'm going to keep going up. And now I'm just going to keep on looking for who I want to go for, but this C205 behind me starts spraying me, but I'm just going to dodge and he will not be hitting any of those. Now my friendly Kai 44 is being tailed and I want to try and help him out, but the Kai 43s are just stuck on his tail and he will not be losing them. So I'm just going to level out to regain speed and see who to go for next. And I notice that the Spitfire is once again stalling himself out for me. So I'm going to wait for him to stall completely, and I am just going to go ahead and dive on him. And this time he is not going to be escaping. He is just completely dead in the water, and I'm just going to take him out. Now I'm going to reclimb, and I see the Kai 44 that's somewhat high, and I do not want him above me at all. So I'm just going to ignore all the enemies below me, and I'm just going to regain some energy to go ahead and engage him. Now, he decided to dive from my teammate, which leaves me with a much better energy advantage. And he sees me, so he's going to start climbing for me. Now, I know that he still has some energy left, so I'm going to be climbing perpendicular to him so that he bleeds more energy trying to get to me. He starts taking some shots, and I really have to be careful not to get hit. But he is stalling himself out, and he is just going to make himself an easy shot. Now that he's basically stalled out, I'm going to put some flaps, put in some rudder, and I am going to go ahead and dive on him. Now I take some shots, but my aim is just really failing me here. I only get a hit, and I take out his elevator, and that's going to be it. Now, I do notice that there are some Kai 43s ahead of me, so I am going to go in their general direction just to make sure that they don't start going for me. And I want to pay attention to the Kai 61 because he's not dead, and I want to make sure he does not go for me. Now, I'm kind of confident that the Kai 43s aren't going to come for me, so I'm going to go ahead and turn for the Kai 61. Now, I'm not really sure what he's doing, but it seems that he is trying to turn to dodge and stay under me, but I'm just going to wait until the best moment to dive on a 6. and there's not really much that he can do here. I start taking some shots. I know my aim really isn't all that good, and I end up taking off his wing. The other two Kai 43s, I end up killing them as they're taking off from their runway. And that's just going to be it for this video. I hope you guys enjoyed. Let me know if you have any suggestions for planes I should try out, and I will see you guys in the next one. Peace.